that matter. How do you capture that? When my children were young, I loved taking them to school in the morning. I would absolutely volunteer to do it. This is my favorite thing. They'd get into that classroom, and that look of wonder on their face, because they're learning something new every day that they didn't know before. Or if they knew it, they were learning it in a different way. And so the challenge is, how do you translate that sense of wonderment about acquiring knowledge to grades 9, 10, 11, 12? You know, and maybe that'll always be the challenge. But I would say that a step in the right direction is doing things that interest them. Because they are, just like all of us, we are interested in what we're interested in, and we're going to pay more attention to that than anything else. You can do this. You can do project-based learning and inquiry-based learning and still have high standards at the state level. And that's what we have here in North Dakota. So do you have to test this all the time? No. But under ESSA, the Every Student Succeeds Act, your community has more to say about that than any other time, at least in the last 14 years. So by all means, get yourself to a school board meeting and let them hear you.
Regarding the civics assessment that is now required, that was passed in 2015, and it is a requirement that they have a knowledge of 100 questions that are on the immigration for all new citizens that need to come into and become an American citizen. We want all of our graduating seniors or all of our graduating students to leave K-12 with that basic set of knowledge. But I would argue that it isn't a standardized test in the form of a standardized test where you take this individually, you have to assess on it, you do it in isolation. We expected, the legislature voted, and the governor signed the bill that said all of our students have to have this common set, this basic understanding of our civics and civics education. But we left it completely up to the discretion of our local school districts in order how to teach that and how to measure whether they have learned it or not. So it isn't going to be a standardized test that looks exactly the same in Flasher versus Fargo versus Fezzik. And
but
so
it is a test you have to take.
they can do it in a project. It's an assessment. It's an assessment.
Why don't we do that then for math or English or science?
Because there's federal law and state law that requires a different type of test for math, English, and science. But the civics assessment or the civics education bill was a school can do it in a project-based environment. They can do it in high-tech high, and they can make a wheel. And the principal of the high school just affirms on graduation day that that student has the understanding of those 100 questions.